I've opened a new Google Sheet, and since I do need to use a GPT for Sheets formula, I'll go up to my extensions and point at GPT for Sheets and Docs and click on Enable GPT Functions. So now I see my GPT for Sheets sidebar, and I'm going to click in cell B1 because that's where I want to put the drop-down menu. I'll click on Data, Data Validation, and now I've got a sidebar about data validation rules. I'll click Add Rule, and the criteria is going to be drop-down, and it gives me two option lines. I want to add another item, and another item, and another item. So I've got 5 lines in the drop-down menu. And it's possible to type the text right in the option lines or the value lines. But if it's going to be a lot of text in each line, I prefer to create a Google Doc and just type the lines in the Google Doc and then copy and paste them into the drop-down menu. So I'm going to skip ahead to the point where I've copied and pasted these 5 lines into the drop-down menu. So I've copied and pasted the 5 lines into data validation. So I've got a 5-line drop-down menu. I've also color-coded each line. So for Chicago, it's blue. For Detroit, it's kind of a silvery blue. So you can do that if you want to differentiate between each drop-down. If I go over to cell B1, I can see I've got an arrow there. If I click on the arrow, I'll see the 5 lines in the drop-down menu. Now I can type my formula in cell A1, =, GP, select GPT, and select cell B1 and parentheses. And now if I click in that cell B1, it'll start loading. It'll tell me there's an error. So how about if I select NFL team in Chicago, nickname only, and it starts loading, and it tells me that the NFL team in Chicago is the Bears. If I click on this down arrow and select NFL team in Kansas City, and I include nickname only because GPT wants to give me a lot more information than I really want. So if I just said NFL team in Kansas City, GPT would have told me the NFL team in Kansas City is the Chiefs, but it would also have given me a lot more information that I didn't want. So now I can change the prompt in the drop-down menu and get the result in the cell where I wrote the formula. So that gives you a basic idea of how to use drop-down menus.